all the things we have going on in this show, all via NDI. Will's got a complete NDI TriCaster system going over there. He's getting in lower thirds. He's got NDI on the screen in the background. I'm coming in NDI via the CX350 Panasonic camera. We have a camera over there that's the NewTek PTZ camera, which we'll be showing you, that's coming in NDI. We're coming in off of my laptop NDI. That's where we're putting the screen on the slide. So if you were going to try to do this production in a pre-TriCaster NDI world, we would both be even balder than we are now. It just wouldn't be possible. I hate to say it. And this was something that, you know, really, it was a breeze for both of us to set this up on both of our ends.
It gave us an opportunity to really take compute components, the things that were available that we all are familiar with from the computers that we use every day, and be able to bring live production into that. And NDI being the flexible standard, and more than just a protocol, it's discovery, it's registration, it's a full SDK that allows all these people that to be able to bring new things in. It allows for flexibility in ways that you know, when the source device knows what's happening downstream and how it's being used.
I really, you know, you can do stuff on this that a TC460 couldn't do, and plus 4K. I mean, it's amazing how, as the computers get stronger, because this is really software based, it just unleashes more and more power, performance, and features. Yeah, and I know there are people who have TriCaster systems who have looking at, they needed to add some I, some O, some other stuff to another room. They're just throwing one of these in another room, and it's like a satellite studio to their bigger TriCaster. When you think about, you know, a full TC1, you know, max is a $40,000 investment. That's great, you get all that power. But now I can put another studio and I put this TriCaster Mini in it, and it's really like I have two Maxes there because everything sees everything and everything lights up. It's just incredible.
What you get in Live Call Connect is an integrated function that also allows for interfacing with those virtual meeting room applications, or we like to call them VMRs, that don't have native NDI integration necessarily built in today.
You guys unleashed Decode, which I think, you know, encoding was how we originally sold these products. Put them next to a camera, hook up to a camera, have your HDMI or SDI out, convert it to NDI, plug it into any network jack, and boom, everything's connected together. Decode was as big a part of the roadmap as encode, and now the encoders that come with your TriCaster are both encode and decode. I think that's real important because a lot of people, like in House of Worship, you have an overflow room a lot. This is a great way to bring that video into the overflow room over your network, hook up the decode mode, and then just plug a TV in, and now HDMI television, you've got a monitor that's filling another room of people.
So that took a little bit longer to get into the marketplace, but now that we have it here, exactly like you said, it allows for the flexibility even on the delivery side, especially in a facility. You can connect that up to the NDI network, and with something like even the free capability that happens to be in Studio Monitor, you can route your sources and have that come up and come down, and being able to utilize that in an overflow scenario, in a delivery scenario, get that message to where you need it to be, whether it's live video, whether it's a digital signage, you know, your message can get out there and get to wherever that network can reach.
There are all the, I mean, tens of thousands of PTZ cameras deployed throughout the world that actually have H.264 that can be upgraded to NDI by just upgrading the firmware. So Panasonic, PTZ Optics that we talked about before, Minray, I mean, there's just tons of, Marshall, there's so many. And early on, we used to see a really big difference between full NDI and HX. With the 4.0 HX2, we don't anymore. And also, what I'm really excited about, and I want to know when you think we'll see the first products with it, is you're going to have H.265, which bandwidth matters everywhere when you're working on stuff like that. So even when you're working on your local network and your NDI, you can still have enough devices that you go into bandwidth errors. And what I love about going to H.265 is it's half the bandwidth. So we could basically double the amount of devices in our studio.
The camera that you have right there on your desk, the PTZ UHD, does take advantage when you're running in 4K P60 mode of H.265 and HEVC. So we already have the template available in the marketplace, and this is part of what we have. Those that are developing on NDI within NDI HX, it does give you the ability, and this is one of the versioning things that we have along with NDI. Yes, I get into versions and, you know, well, what does that really mean to the user? Well, it means that those that are developing, those vendors that are utilizing NDI, we can bring more and more capabilities into the development kit so that they can take advantage of that for the products that they're releasing to the marketplace.
For free download, you can get the toolkit, which includes NDI Studio Monitor, Scan Converter, Virtual Input. The VLC plugin is Windows only. Access Manager, Test Patterns for Windows only. And then you also have NDI Connect available for free, the basic unit.
So you can take, like you said, the VLC plugin, VLC Video LAN client. There is a very popular open source media player. You can basically take whatever that plays and deliver that NDI onto your network. You can receive it with Studio Monitor. You can start doing testing around the network. You can see what you like on that. You can take your scan converter or what's on your screen and then deliver that into a receiving device for streaming.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't know, you can take that webcam that's right on the camera and have a separate NDI stream utilizing that free tool. So that gives you some really cool capabilities if you're doing teaching or streaming for gaming and various things.
If I have Scan Converter running on a computer and I had like OBS as my streaming to go to my students, I could actually have my webcam and my PowerPoint that was on my screen both be available to the stream from the same laptop. I wouldn't need two different laptops.
That's correct.
I love how NDI is going to impact the world of post-production and editing. And there's a lot of different ways. You guys have NDI for Adobe Cloud, which just basically says I'm a news group or a newsroom and I'm cutting something. I don't have to wait for it to render. I can hit the space bar and my TriCaster, my vMix can see it and I can put it right to air. Love that feature. Then you've also got the feature now where I can import the files, the ISO files that I'm recording on my TriCaster or through Connect Pro on a separate computer, and I can bring those into Adobe and instantly start editing.
There's a few things that were a bit challenging. One is that when you have to take a certain monitor that's out of the edit bay and you have to get the certain people to that, that actually takes time out of your day. And so for review and approval, what we saw that if you can take that space bar, it's more than just delivering it directly live to air. Sometimes it's like, hey, they got the editor here. Let me just hit the space bar, pick up the NDI feed upstairs or over in the cubicle for someone to review this. It actually saves time you walking down the hallway. You know, we talk in the business side a lot about future proofing. And the only way to truly future proof is to really have computers, have networks, and have all that driven by software, because these three things are agnostic to what travels across them. And we can build bigger and more powerful devices and environments and ultimately architecture that really gets us to that point.